Can you state your name?
My name is Chevonne Neal.
Okay, Chevonne. My name is Cheyenne Johnson. I don't know. I think this is just a part of it, so I'm gonna do it. So can you tell me about your experience in the criminal justice system?
I remember the first time I was locked up, or I should say arrested. I'm the type of person that's pretty much cooperative. But it was, I'm trying to remember. Oh, they treated me like any other type of person. You know what I mean? Like just taking your fingerprint, all that simple stuff. Um, some of them they kind of just abuse their authority. In there. But it was pretty basic. How? They try to act like that they're really tough. They just abuse it, but it wasn't really not on me, but I can see it. In there, mm-hmm. in the jail. They held me in the holding cell for hours. I was in there for hours, and then eventually, they called me into this other room to basically change my clothes. So they make you take all your clothes off, butt naked, everything, and then they give you like these, jail clothes, basically, from bras to underwear to everything, socks and stuff like that. So, and you're naked in front of like this person, this woman. You're just naked in front of her, and it's embarrassing. It can be embarrassing, because you're like, I don't know you. I don't want you to see myself naked. So it's like the way they treat you like you're not a person. Like you're just some animal or something like that. But when they actually put me in my jail cell, it was that process was pretty simple. I was in there for about like 5 days until court. So they held me in there.
What was your crime?
My crime was they listed it as burglary, but honestly I don't know why they listed it as burglary, because it was because I stole food and alcohol from a grocery store, and they listed it as burglary, which is not really burglary, but so that was one of them. That was the first time that I was in jail. So the second time I was in jail was for fraud. This was the third time I was homeless. Even the first time too, I was homeless. I was with someone else. We had like this donation paper. It wasn't real. So I was trying to get money for food because I was hungry. So that was my way of trying to get money from people. And so the cops, they rolled up on their bikes and they were like, hey, that's not real. So they arrested me and they arrested the other person. The other person had a kid, they had a son. So, it didn't really look good on them. And so they were going to wait for a patrol, for police car to come to pick us up, but they didn't. So they ended up walking us all the way to the jail. And that part, I think they kind of did it. I don't know if they did it on purpose. I don't know what, or they just kind of was you know, being cops and just doing whatever they want to do. You know, they made it where it was embarrassing, you know, to see these two black people walking down the street in handcuffs, you know, on your way to the jail, you know, and I was held in the holding cell for a few hours until I would say close to midnight. Close to midnight, I was held in there, me and another person, and they finally let us out. Close to midnight. They can't hold you in there no longer than midnight, basically. So that was the second time that I was in there. But as far as like how they treated me, it wasn't like they weren't like hitting me or abusing me verbally or anything. There wasn't none of that was being done. It was just certain things here, you know, how they walked me down the street, you know, and stuff like that.
How has it affected you since you like your past? How has that affected you?
It affected me kind of, you know, to the point where it's like I didn't want to make those same, you know, mistakes and stuff like that. And it was, those choices were not, you know, good choices, of course, you know. But it was my way of survival because I was homeless, you know, and I had no other way, you know what I mean, of getting like food and whatever else, you know. So there were other ways that, you know, were legal that I could have gotten food, but I was still trying to get familiar with the, you know, with Sacramento and stuff like that. So there was a whole lot of other things that I didn't know of as far as like resources and stuff like that that I could have gone to. I didn't know anything about that. I just knew survival, you know. So that's what I did.
I think that's all my questions. You answered pretty much everything. I didn't have to ask you anything.
Cool.